Hey everybody, I want to do a quick commentary on a classic scene from the Sam Raimi Spider-Man movies that happens a lot in stories, because I think it may let us get into some interesting things. This scene is from the climax of the movie, and the Green Goblin presents Spider-Man with a nasty situation. He dangles a tram full of kids off one side of the Brooklyn Bridge, and Spider-Man's girlfriend, Mary Jane, off the other side, and then lets both go.
We are who we choose to be. Now choose!
Now, the situation is that Spider-Man is supposed to be forced to choose between saving one person he personally cares about, or saving an entire group of people he doesn't know. This echoes a famous philosophical question, which is called the Trolley Problem, and it's no accident, since they literally used a trolley car full of kids in the scene. In the Trolley Problem, the track by default will run over the large group, so by throwing the switch to save them, you deliberately redirect the car to running over the smaller number of people. This problem is really well known, but not because it's a good question. In theory, supposedly you should throw the switch to only hurt one person instead of a bunch of people. But if you ask just about anyone, they won't answer.
Do we know anything about the people?
The only trolley I've ever been on is James Franco's.
And usually will just get annoyed with you. A lot of people seem to use this as an example of how people can't make decisions, or are overly emotional, and so on. But emotion is actually part of how we reason, so that's not really the case. And, believe it or not, the average person presented with the trolley problem actually gives the correct answer. This is because the human mind is wired to not accept situations like that. After all, if it did, we would have eaten each other the first time we ran out of food. And that would defeat the whole purpose of society, which is to make our lives better. As long as we can, we must protect the lives of the people in our group, just as much as we protect our own. Otherwise, we'd never be able to trust each other. There have been societies that were convinced, usually through superstition, that they had to sacrifice people in order to survive. But once we realize that they didn't have to do that, we view that practice as immoral and are usually sickened by it. And this instinct, this natural rejection of any choice that seems to cause others to be hurt, was actually crucial to our survival, since the refusal to hurt, eat, or turn against each other led to us finding all kinds of types and sources of food, including farming and other technology, which should show how important it is. And thus, evolution solved the trolley problem a long time ago, and the average person gives the correct answer. In the real world, we don't know all the possibilities in a situation, pretty much ever, which is the fatal flaw in the trolley problem, trying to force a limited set of options on an instinct that developed in an unlimited world. So, when we're presented with a supposed choice that would seemingly cause one person to die,
life will not be contained.
We reject the situation and look for other answers. And likewise, Spider-Man, when forced to make that choice by the Green Goblin, does the right thing as well. He ignores the Green Goblin's proposal and tries to save both Mary Jane and the kids. This is important because Spider-Man is a hero, and he should do the things that feel right for our instincts, just like the movie should ultimately satisfy our feelings as well. But having said that, if the trolley problem is such a bad question, why is it so well known? Well, like we've talked about, things spread because they either give us good feelings or are useful. Obviously in this case, the question annoys pretty much everyone who gets asked. But it gives good feelings to a lot of the people who ask the question, because some people like to annoy other people, or in their own point of view to confirm their belief that people don't reason well, or to make themselves look smart by asking philosophical questions. But either way, I think understanding this problem helps to illustrate some important things, which is that a lot of philosophical problems are actually based on not understanding how we actually think or work. And sometimes, we'd rather bother each other or look smart than actually be useful. And knowing that can help us deal with this problem and a lot of others. Thanks for listening, and I'll be back soon.